The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Welcome, everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 26th, and you're listening to Breaking All the Rules with Chief Kessler. Attorney Tate, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you very
great.
well. It's an honor
Great.
to have you on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what's going on? I just recently found out about your adventures, I guess, if you can call them here. It sounds like you're having a very tough time with things here. What's going on?
Well, I have several cases going on. I have one in Chief Judge for the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, Royce Lambert. This is the same judge who actually, if you recall, signed subpoena for Fox reporter James Rosen, and then kept the subpoena for 18 months hidden without posting it on the docket. So I've been in front of this judge 3 times in 3 different cases, and he kept ruling in favor of Obama. One of those cases is Tate v. Astro. It's against former Commissioner of Social Security Michael Astro. And I just recently posted motion for reconsideration. For a while, it was not docketed. Finally, he wrote an order stating that it has to be filed, has to be docketed, allowed 75 pages of my documents and pleadings. And tomorrow, actually, the feds are supposed to file an answer. The Department of is supposed to file an answer on behalf of the Department of the Social Security Administration. And what I provided them is the evidence that Barack Obama posted online his tax returns. He posted those on April 15th of 2010, and those are 2009 tax returns. And he originally did not flatten the PDF file. Full unredacted Social Security number that he is using became available to the public, and it failed both E-Verify and SSNDS, two agencies that the federal government is using to ascertain whether those are valid Social Security numbers. And further on, he realized he made a mistake. He flattened. It became hidden, but it was too late because by that time thousands of people all over the country and all over the world had this number and saw that he is using Social Security number. When I originally brought this lawsuit, they denied my request for the application for this number, for the original application claiming privacy. But recently, they have made public the 1940 census, and this census has given information on the individual who used the Social Security number, and it's a Connecticut number. It's an individual who in 1940 lived in New York. He's an immigrant from Russia. His name is Harrison J. Bunnell, and he was born in 1890. Also, in 2010, government came up with a new rule. Social Security came up with a new rule, which is a 120-year rule stating that the applications, SS5 applications for Social Security number for what they call extremely aged individuals, meaning people who are 120 years old or older, have to be released to the public if there is no proof of death of such individual or consent of such individual. So at this point, we have everything. We have the rules. Actually, they did not post this rule until sometimes in 2011, so we did not know about it. But as they posted the rule in 2011, as they posted the result of 1940 census and Maryland's information system, information that this number was used in connection to Barack Obama's residence in Chicago and we had a name and social security number in connection to Barack Obama's residence. We had all the pieces of the puzzle, and I submitted it to the court, and we're waiting what the government will state in their response tomorrow.
Unbelievable. So we have a sitting president who's using a falsified, or not even a falsified, but a stolen identity.
Yeah, stolen social security. Yeah. I also provided the courts with information that the selected service certificate that he is using is a forged service certificate, and I provided them with an opinion with a sworn affidavit from Stephen Kaufman, who was a chief investigator from the Special Investigations Unit of the U.S. Coast Guard, stating I provided them expert opinion showing that the birth certificate is a forgery, and we have such unprecedented corruption in our courts. Nothing about it.
It's unbelievable. And then you have Mike Zulu running around the country pretending to be some kind of law enforcement official, that he has powers to arrest and he has all this damaging evidence. Mike Zulu, ladies and gentlemen, he could not investigate a flat tire. He is a fraud, 110% fraud. The question I pose today is, what has Mike Zulu done besides flap his gums? He has done nothing, absolutely nothing but run his mouth. Here we have an attorney, and she's not only is she an attorney, she's a doctor, and guess what, folks? She's also an immigrant. She'd come to this country legally. Legally. She has filed all kinds of lawsuits, and she is taking bull by the horns. She's actually someone who's doing something about it. She's not just talking, she's doing. So
well,
I
hope that you're going to join me. I hope, Sheriff,
well,
that
I'd
you're
love
going
to meet with you, and I would love to meet with you, and from a law enforcement aspect of it, and see, as we discussed yesterday on the phone, what kind of evidence you have. And believe me, as you were stating about the liar in chief, or whatever name he's using, or whoever he really is, he's on the ballot. He was on the ballot in all 50 states, and people, that's a crime in all 50 states. In every jurisdiction in the country where he was on the ballot, guess what? That's a crime. Even in my little jurisdiction of 870-some people, that's a crime. If he was on it fraudulently, that's a crime. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I lost you for a moment.
Yeah, you were breaking up a little bit there.
Sorry, it broke up, but I can hear you now.
Yeah, much better. You're a lot clearer. So what else is going on here? You're in the state of appeals right now.
I actually have 6 cases going on, and one of them is in California. It's in the 4th District Court of Appeals, and that case includes, basically, I ran for office. I ran for U.S. Senate in California, and one, of course, that on the ballot we had Obama, who was using all forged IDs as the basis of his identity. And another problem, I identified 1.5 million invalid voter registrations. I provided the court with sworn affidavits of a former official from NATO, somebody who was a relational data expert working for NATO, an individual who is a computer expert. They all stated that they analyzed the data that I as a candidate for U.S. Senate, received from the Secretary of State, showing that we have invalid voter registrations. And the judge in the lower court dismissed the case on technicality. So I brought it to the Court of Appeals, and originally they and I filed several motions, and they reinstated my appeal. And Obama and Senator Feinstein were supposed to respond in the beginning of June. They failed to respond, so the Court of Appeals gave them courtesy of 15 more days of where they gave them extra time to respond, and they didn't. There's nothing that they can say. So now the papers, the appeal is complete. It's in the hands of the court, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm waiting to get the results, and I have several other appeals that are going. And I have actually a RICO case, a racketeering case that I filed in the state of Mississippi, where I stated that actions by Barack Obama, the director of health and registrar in the Department of Health in Hawaii, a Commission of Social Security, and a number of other parties represent a RICO, a racketeering and corrupt organization, where Obama was able to usurp the U.S. presidency based on fraud, forgery, use of stolen IDs. And that case I filed in February of 2012. It has been a year and a half. The last hearing was sometime in October of 2012. It's been about 8 months, and the judge didn't render his opinion yet. I think he's just waiting to see what's going to happen in other cases. He's kind of on the fence. He doesn't know what to do, and so he's, I guess, waiting to see what happens.
He should follow the Constitution. If there's enough evidence presented in front of him, he needs to do the right thing, because we're talking about a major event that's happening in our country right now. We have a fraudulent president, allegedly fraudulent president,
and you can see how you can see how he is destroying the country. I mean, what he is doing in each and every proposal, each and every bill, is a targeted destruction of this nation, industry after industry. He went after our energy production. First it was oil. You remember he came up with this sort of embargo on oil and gas and oil production in the Gulf of Mexico, and even after the court has stated that injunction that he had on oil production there in the Gulf of Mexico was invalid, illegal, he continued, and now the number of permits oil production on federal lands went down by 70%. Now he is going after the coal industry. He is destroying the conservatives by using the IRS. He is destroying our national interests abroad, using the State Department, using corrupt officials within CIA. This is somebody, he is a foreign agent. The man is a foreign agent who is on a mission to destroy this nation. Security, its economy, the strength and will of its people, and he's basically buying the most corrupt officials in the federal government, the most corrupt congressmen who are aiding and abetting him, the most corrupt judges.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to take people like you and I to stand up, and all of my followers out there, and all the people that support me for what I did, and I'm just a simple person. There's nothing special about me, but when this thug, this piece of garbage in Washington decided to do a gun confiscation, now that it's really starting, the dots are starting to connect for me. They tried to do a gun confiscation, and now I'm understanding why. And I stood up and said, you will not infringe on the Second Amendment right in my jurisdiction, and that actually my local elected officials passed a Second Amendment preservation resolution, which I drafted, nullifying all gun laws that are against the Constitution. And there's no law on the books today that's constitutional when it comes to the Second Amendment. No, nobody has the power to regulate arms, period. And that caused such a backlash all across the country. We have entire states that nullified it. And I never thought I would be on a national level. But I tell you what, you have my full support. I truly believe in what you're doing. You're an attorney. You're a doctor. I checked you out. You're not. Mike Zulu, he disgusts me. To bring law enforcement officials in into a room and pretend to be a detective, a lieutenant, a commander, some kind of a chief, he's a liar. All he is a liar. He's a mouthpiece. He's looking to write another book. I'm not looking to write a book. I'm not looking to make a movie. I'm looking to make my country better.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.